All right, guys, it's another great day with Tyler Technician. Let me give you guys an update what's going on. It's been a crazy morning. First off, working on a Nissan Altima, doing 3 catalytic converters on it. This is actually one of them things that I took on upon myself to say I'm gonna challenge myself. Everything in my system told me this is a 10 and a half hour job. I honestly don't know how true that is. But I gave the customer a quote, not based off of that, based on what I believe I can do it in. So that's what I'm doing. A couple of things I read on. So a couple of hiccups I ran into. Like I said, these hoses all brittle. I did another Nissan a while back where I showed you guys some of this stuff, same concept. I'm gonna try to change all those lines out. But reason being I'm showing this video, originally I was doing this at the client house and I had to get the car moved. Before I even took this off, I did take the main one out and I kept telling him, I said, man, I'm probably gonna have to tap some of these screws out and drill them out and all that. It's like, man, look, it'd be best if I just bring it back to the house with me. So that's what I did. I spent an hour and a half doing that process. One of the reasons being, he had a motor pit in, but you could see where this bolt is broke off. It was fine, still got 3. If you guys can see down in there, you see that grayish stuff down there? That's carbon from the inside of this converter. Let's see if I can get in there to come out. Yeah, some of it came out. But you can see it even better there. So that's what we're working on. I got this one. This is the one I was talking about. I got at the client's house. Actually took this one off. And then I was like, look, it was like some hickory dickory going on. Let me get this thing back to, if I got to drill anything like that, I have all the drills I need. It won't cost us a lot of time. One of these studs was actually filed off, coming off. But again, we're going to try to hook them up and see if we can do it under the shop time. All right, so again, this is the old one. This is the new one. What I like about this customer, they usually just about get everything I need as far as parts wise. They do original equipment like I do, so that's good. I don't have to modify anything. If you guys can look, everything is pretty much equivalent. It comes with the new hardware. I don't have to find bolts. I don't have to do all the extraness. They're doing it right. We got the new O2 sensor. This is the original one to this. We're gonna sit here and match it up to make sure. The main thing we want to do is look at this here. Make sure your plugs match. As long as that plug match, you in good shape. That seems like that's gonna do it. So we're gonna put this one in. We're gonna go ahead and try to get the front one out, and then we're gonna go from there. Now I do have 2 more oxygen sensors, which is the upstream front and the upstream rear. Both of those on order. I done went through 2 different suppliers. Can't get them until later on this afternoon. That's a 4-hour delay. Just waiting on that. So I'm gonna try one more place and see if I can get that same replication of the part, and I'll try to get it to me, because right now is a good time. I could put the back together if I had the other O2 sensor, and the only thing I have to do is fool with the front. And then of course the bottom part, that's, you know, that's the simplest. And I do want to change them hoses and stuff out. So I would love to put that back oxygen sensor in and kind of just get the ball rolling. So that's enough for that. I'm gonna get back to work. I'll chime back in at some point. Again, it's supposed to be a long process. I'm not gonna try to spend that long on it. So let's get it. All right, guys, I'm gonna give y'all an update. First things first, this is that bottom catalytic converter I was talking about. That was the rear. That's the right rear, or right, whatever one you want to call it. This is the left/front bottom one. Got it out. Couple things you need to notice. Looks similar. Most of everything match. It is stamped and everything. That's good. I took the little wish call out of the thread. Now this sits up a little higher versus that lip. That lip is a little bit in. This one is a little bit higher, which is fine. That's actually a good thing. Gives you room for your oxygen sensor, and I'm gonna show you why that is important. In fact, let me show you that now, and then I'll show you what's going on here. Notice this is here. That one's missing. This the one that broke off, caused some rattling. It's a lot of debris under there. I'll show you guys when I get under there. But the reason I was talking about on that lip on that O2 sensor, this one here stripped out on me upon me taking it out, which is this O2 sensor here. Notice how it's lopsided, it's not straight. The threads on it about gone. So I had to do a little bit of tapping on that. This is the one on the rear that we was waiting on. They did get it to me when I got it back in there. It comes with this stupid honeycomb, which is very difficult to get out, so I had to cut it. I was nervous about doing that, especially with them waiting on it, because if you know, you know. The last thing you want to do is cut an O2 sensor and you don't have it out. So like I said, I got all that back together. The one in the back is good. Most of this is together. I was able to tap those out. I was getting ready to replace that manifold, but if some point in the future it acts funny, hey, we're gonna put a new one on there. So let me show you guys. So this, oh, that just hit my head. This is some of the honeycomb stuff, this debris that came from this one. Here's the header that's broke that you can see. The bolt needs to come out of it. I'm pretty good with that tap and die. I wanted to make sure I had the O2 sensor in, so any metal shavings or anything like that can come out now versus when I put it back on here. So guys, if this part goes in well and a back part to that exhaust go well, Tata's gonna be in the game, because that's the new one with it. O2 sensor is bolted up in the back. So guys, we're gonna keep it moving. This is why I cut it. I need to go ahead and disconnect that for the new one. But let me go on and finish up so we can get on to the next. All right. So I got everything back together. Took way too long. Every last one of them studs, a bolt broke on me. Even got a couple of them over there in the corner. They got to get addressed. Put everything back together. Got to get a couple more bolts in the morning from my bolt specialist. And then I just changed out a couple of these O-rings over here on AC for them. So those are the O-rings. I'm about to try to charge the AC, see if that work. If I get that going, this car will be done. Only thing left be to put a couple of them bolts in that I need to get, since most of them broke. And after that, it's a wrap. Man, this AC bumping. That's a good thing, but one last time, I'm gonna put them bolts in tomorrow, turn it loose. It might be back for some more work. Got some knick-knack stuff going on with it, but we're gonna try to put it back on the road best we can. You know how I do. I like to have things running the way I would like my car running. So again, you guys, another adventurous day. Just to be clear, I started at 7, it's now 5 o'clock. So technically it took me 10 hours. I would have done it before then, but all those bolts that broke off, dealt with that, even the aftermarket bolts that didn't want to go in, including me fooling with the AC, including me stopping on the job, driving the car to my house, getting the ride back to my car, coming back, taking a lunch break, doing all that stuff. So, and by the way, my lunch break was 15 minutes because it was paid time. But anywho, that's all for today. Let's see what we get into tomorrow.